a beard. Good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday.
Good morning.
Give us a double tap, a smiley face if you're having a crazy week. Double tap, smiley. Oh my gosh. Good morning, everybody. How's
Good
everybody?
evening, Joyce.
Good night, Joyce. Yeah, for real. How's everybody doing today? It is Training Thursday. Today we're going to talk about training. For any of you guys.
Good morning, Teresa, Joyce, Nicole, Christy, Crystal, whoever else is here. I don't know if that's everyone. Becky Jo, what's up, girl?
Good morning, guys. How's everybody doing today?
Oh, Kobe's in the house.
Yeah.
Seriously tired. I need to go to bed. We call it Noomi.
This is how Sergeant
Morning,
likes it.
Donna.
You know that Donna is coming to train when she actually shows up for these videos, which is like once a week. Donna, it's great to see you. See you soon in person. For sure. She likes to sleep in. One day we'll change that when Donna's ready.
Awake and alive, Becky Jo. Good to hear, Mama.
You guys, I hope that you're having an amazing week so far today. LOL. We're going to talk about your perfect 3-day training split. So if weight loss and some kind of muscle gain is related with your short-term and long-term goals, which I suppose comment yes. If this sounds like you, if you're basically looking to tone up, perhaps tighten up some things, but look strong, capable at the same time, and not bulky like you've just ingested a tub of steroids. I don't even know what form they're in. Then
I think you eat them like candy.
Then comment yes. Yes! Yes! Come on.
Careful, precious cargo.
I'm
All
getting
the way
so
from
excited here. Really? Just 2 yeses?
Last night was one of 3 nights in a row. I need to get more motivated working out 5 times a week until
Tone,
That's
lose
why
weight, and muscle. Okay,
you're
love
here.
it. Love it. That is why you're here. So we're going to talk about your perfect 3-day training split. By the way, Teresa, look, with your schedule, if you feel like there's some days, some weeks where 5 days is just too much, then pump the brakes, seriously, and focus on 3 solid days rather than 5 days. Just because your sleep and recovery is equally as important, and you're only going to see results based off of how recovered your body is. Okay, so please remember that. But I do love your motivation, dedication, and drive. You guys, so, if somebody comes to me to train 3 times a week, this is how I make sure that I hit everything full spectrum and are able to get them closer to their goals in literally less than 60 minutes. So I want you to take your body and literally split it in half going this way. So just so you know, we can split our body up, and for all the nurses in the room, I know we have at least one. Donna is a physician's assistant. For any of you guys, you may know this too. We have 3 planes of motion. So we have the sagittal, where you basically splice the body in half, front and back. And then we have the frontal plane. No, frontal plane, splice the body left and right. And then we have the transverse plane.
I'm going to Google that. I'm pretty
Google
sure
that.
sagittal's forward and backwards.
You're moving forwards and backwards.
And that's this plane.
Frontal.
You're moving along.
Oh,
plane.
okay. All right. Sorry about that. See, when you're a foreigner, you're thinking about.
It's super confusing.
You're thinking about the diagram and how the diagram.
That was
makes
the
sense.
one test question on the certification that I was so confused about.
Okay, so
Anyways,
think about you splicing your body. There's 3 ways to splice the body: side to side, front, back, and then top, bottom. Okay. Doesn't matter what the diagram shows because obviously that's confusing. So I want you to think about day 1, we're going to focus on the front half. Day 2.
This is front half is chest, anterior, front of your shoulder, abs, quads, everything that's in the front of the body.
Everything that's in the front, okay? Day number 2 is going to be everything that's in the back.
Traps, lats, booty, hamstrings, calves.
And day 3 is going to be basically our sides and isolating them one at a time, okay? So this is what I want you to think. So front, back, isolating sides, and moving side to side, okay? So this is how it's going to work out. Obviously, we have over Wendy! Dude! It's been forever! So good to see you here.
Both of us are like,
That's so good to see you. Okay, but I want you to think about your front part of the body, okay? Obviously, we have over 200 muscles in the body, and to ask of you in 3 hours per week to target 200 muscles is really hard, unless there is a system, a rhyme, and a reason, okay? And what I find to be the simplest, most effective way is day 1, you're going to focus on the front part. And by the way, we don't focus on muscles, we focus on movements first, muscles at the very end. That's kind of like putting makeup on your, on your eyelashes, whatever, your face, whatever you want it to be. It's kind of like,
it's like accessorizing.
fine-tuning, like the little thing.
It's like when you get dressed and then you accessorize. Like you need a necklace and the earrings and the,
Yeah. Or if you're like me, you just don't wear them. But so basically, big compound movements is what you want to focus on, okay? So day 1, we're talking about muscles here. So I want at least one of you guys to name a muscle that's, or a body part, muscle group that's in the front part of your body. I don't care whatever it is, just name one.
Good morning, Nassim. I already gave you the answers, so who remembers?
Yeah. Seriously, right?
Oh, man.
Come on.
It's, what's today? Thursday. It's over the hump day.
Pecs.
Day.
Great. What's Ann? Sausage finger problems. I get. Yes. Okay. So let's take the pecs for example.
Wow.
So I want you to think. Exercise number 1 is going to involve an upper body movement. Okay. So if we talk about the chest, let's call it bench press. Okay. Quads. Great. Love that. The second movement is going to involve your lower limbs, quads. Okay, let's go for the squat. Okay, and then the third part is going to involve core.
Why?
Okay.
So I have a question real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Why the squat instead of like a leg extension or something? Because the squat is more than just your quads, right?
For
your
sure.
Squat, you use your glutes and stuff too. So it's a little bit of, but why the squat?
Remember, compound movements. Rather than working on one single muscle, which is completely inefficient, right? You want to make sure that you're literally getting the most for your buck. So you want to focus on those big movements that involve, yes, those pecs, yes, those quads, but more than that, just to provide you with a hormonal release, basically, so that you're getting a better response, and that is how you're getting better results in less time. Okay, it's all about efficiency.
The more muscles you use in one movement, the more metabolic you're getting, and the squat is a quad dominant lower body movement.
Yep.
Right? Even though it uses other muscles, this squat, because it is predominantly your knees, then you're going to use more quad versus a deadlift.
Okay, so like you said, pecs, abs, quads. Love it. So exercise 1 will involve the upper limbs. Good morning, Mark, by the way. So let's say bench press. Exercise number 2 is going to involve the lower limbs. We pick the squat. Exercise number 3 is going to involve the abs. So let's pick plank, for example. Okay? After upper limbs, lower limbs core, okay, we are going to add some kind of endurance movement. Okay, now I'm saying endurance movement because it doesn't have to be, I don't want you guys to think in a box. I want you to think outside of the box. So go ahead, one of you guys, and give me an example of some kind of cardio or endurance movement.
While you guys are typing your cardio endurance movements, Becky Jo asks, can you do squats 2 days in a row?
Becky, the answer is no, because remember, we're talking about this perfect 3-day split. If you want to be able to literally hit your full body and to be more functional in 3 days, then you focusing on the same movement 2 times in 1 week is not going to be as effective. Make sense? Okay, so I love it.
Jump rope, elliptical, sprints.
So let's say jump ropes, for example. Just like that, you made yourself a workout, okay? So we have bench press, we have squats, we have planks, and we have jump ropes. You can just literally do 5 sets of that, okay? I want you guys, if you were to start, I would recommend always start with about 10 reps or so.
And always start with the biggest movement. So you're always like, bench press or squat will come before the cardio piece or before the accessory piece.
Yeah, but the reality is that it doesn't matter because you're going to hit them all anyways. Okay, so you go basically from one movement to the next, and basically while one muscle group is working, the other one is resting. And that is how you're able to literally hit your entire front part of your body while burning calories at the same time, okay? And you can do that in literally less than an hour, okay? That will burn more calories than any elliptical that you would do for an hour. That is going to get you stronger than any sort of machines that you would do for an hour. You would literally have a full body workout. You'll be sweating. You'll be getting stronger in less than an hour just by doing that, okay? So that is day 1. Now, day 2, we're going to focus on the back half. So now I want you guys to go ahead and give me
Go ahead.
So I want you guys to give me an upper body exercise that basically involves the back part of our upper body. So upper body exercise that involves the back part of our upper limbs. Come on. Great, Nicole. The rear delt flies. Pull-ups, awesome. So now, give me an exercise that involves the lower limbs and targets the back part of our legs.
Mark, what's up with your
Crystal shoulder press. Bent over rows. Yeah, bent over rows is great, but that's still upper limbs.
I think it's lagging. You're still responding.
Yeah.
Single arm rows.
Great.
Deadlift. There it is.
Squats. Okay, great. So the deadlift. Joyce, though the squats really do involve muscles that are in the backside of our lower limbs, because the squat is more what I call, it's a knee dominant exercise. The knees are the prime movers. Then that will pertain more to the front. Okay, but you're not wrong. Know that. We're just trying to systemize everything in order to simplify it for you guys. So the deadlift, let's say, the pull-ups, let's say, and then we're going to do some kind of core exercise that targets also the back part of our core. What would it be?
And to define core, it's everything except for your arms, your legs, and your head.
Yes,
Basically
everything that's surrounding your spine. Come on, you guys. I know that at least one of you guys can come up with one. Nice. Come on. Today we're in class. Let's go with swimmers. Where you were laying down on the ground. Hypers. Yes, okay.
Hypers.
Toes to bar. I love it. Bicycles. Bicycles will target more of the front side. But
Donna's coming in with lunges out of nowhere.
Donna's driving. Okay, so you guys, so for the second day, let's pretend that we're working with the back part. So we got pull-ups, we got deadlifts, and let's go with either let's go back extensions.
I like Superman too.
I love Superman. That's like swimmers. Okay, so let's go Superman. Okay, Superman, deadlift, pull-ups. Now, you guys already gave me a cardio movement. Let's say on day 2, you're going to do sprints. So sprints, deadlifts, pull-ups, and Supermans. And then you're basically just rotating from one movement to the next. And just like that, you targeted your entire backside. I'm so sorry. And you kept your heart rate up high at the same time. So you're getting more of that metabolic boost. And that is how you're able to get stronger while burn fat and calories at the same time. Make sense? More efficient than being on the elliptical for an hour. More efficient than doing machines for an hour. Okay? You're getting the best of both worlds. So day 3, okay, day 3 is going to involve rotation and side isolation. So we're going to start isolating left from right now. Okay, so side to side. Okay, so I want you guys to think about an upper body exercise where you're basically isolating your right and your left. Hint, hint, Christy, you already gave us an example of that.
What did she say?
Single arm rows.
Oh, single arm.
Yeah. Single arm anything. Exactly. I love it, Mark. Way to multitask.
I love that he's meal prepping at 6:30 on a Thursday.
Hey, get it done either way.
You gotta do it.
Okay, so single arm anything. Let's go with single arm bicep curls.
Single arm bicep curl.
Crystal, I will challenge you to that because remember, you want to focus on compound movements unless it's a finisher. Now, bicep curls. So a compound movement involves more than just one joint. When you do a bicep curl, there's only one joint involved, and that is the elbow. Single arm extension, on the other hand, involves 2 joints, and that is your shoulder and your elbow. Therefore,
single arm extension.
Single arm rows.
Row, yeah.
Sorry. Therefore, compound movements. Lateral delt raises. Yeah, you can do that too. Perfect. So let's say lateral lat raises. I love it because we're involving basically two joints here, your elbow and your shoulder, right? And then for lower body, ooh, Mark's been dating around. I love it. Okay, and then for lower body, you guys, go ahead and give me a single-legged movement. Dennis, happy birthday!
Is it his birthday today?
I think so.
Happy birthday if it's your birthday. The fittest geezer.
For sure. For sure. Calf raises.
Mark's rocking and rolling with all the bodybuilding isolation movements.
Lunges, I love it. Okay, yes.
Bulgarian split squats.
Pistols.
Pistols.
Yes, let's go with Dennis's pistols. Okay, so let's say single arm rows, pistols, and now you guys, I want you to think about either a rotation
Or
core
anti-rotation.
movement or anti-rotation for your core, or anything single-sided for your core. Fit as dirty uncle, favorite dirty uncle too.
I was raised in the gym by meatheads. I wanna choose one.
Okay, choose one.
Palloff press, because I think a lot of people in this room don't know what that is, and it will be a cool movement to learn because anybody in the world, I don't care, back injury, anything injury, can benefit from Palloff press without pain.
For sure.
And it's very effective for your core.
To be honest, I think that most people generally don't do rotation and anti-rotation movements whatsoever. So I feel like this will be the hardest answer other than Russian twist, which isn't obvious. But let's use the Palloff press. So single arm row, pistol squats, Palloff press, and then add something that would raise your heart rate.
Man, renegade rows are amazing too because it's also
There's
a single
so
arm
many, right?
and anti-rotation.
There's so many. I mean, good morning, Chris Rock. Palloff press. You know, Crystal, we'll have to do a video, but it's basically you're either in a kneeling, standing, or half kneeling position, and
we're gonna make a YouTube video. I just decided of Palloff
and
press
you're
progression.
pressing either a cable, some kind of object back and forth. Usually a cable. Or
And basically, as you extend your arms forward, there's a weight that's pulling to the side that you're trying to avoid it pulling you, and so you've got to stay straight, and you're pressing it out and in. So as you extend, the load gets heavier, and you're having to resist the rotation, and it will rock your core.
Yep. Nobody wants to come up with a cardio movement, I see. All right, let's just choose the burpee.
Yes.
48 burpees for Dennis's birthday. Okay, so we have pistols, single arm rows, Palloff presses, and burpees. And just like that, you basically rotate from one movement to the next. Okay, and you guys, there you have it, your perfect 3-day training split. Okay, literally, day one, just cut your body in half, only focus on the front part, upper limbs, lower limbs, core, and cardio. Day two, you're gonna focus on the backside, upper limbs, lower limbs, core, and cardio. Day three, okay, we're going to isolate the sides, okay? Upper limbs, lower limbs, core, rotation, anti-rotation, or anything that isolates your sides, and cardio. And just like that, you basically hit every muscle group in your body in literally working less than 3 hours per week. It is possible, okay? Literally, this is the system that I use to train my people in a basic way. The advanced way will take us many hours to go through. But
Chris, go ahead.
So you recommend 5 sets, you said, around 10 reps each. You know,
Great question.
I would say set a timer based off of how much you have. For some of you guys, 5 sets can take over an hour. For some of you guys, 5 sets can take 30 minutes. And that is when you can add in accessory like bicep curls, maybe 100 for time, that sort of thing. But I would say rule of thumb is start with 3. See how far you get in order, basically in order to get 3 rounds. And depending on how much time you have, then if you can push it to 4 or 5, great. If you don't have enough time, then hey, you showed up and you did the best that you could, and that's all that matters.
I'm gonna give them a more specific also, like to go off of that. If your goal is predominantly fat loss, because the determining factor in how long it takes you to do 1 round is going to be how heavy you lift.
Mm-hmm.
The heavier you lift, the more rest you need between rounds, right? But if your goal is predominantly fat loss, then you're going to want to do a little bit lighter of a weight so where you don't need as much rest, but your heart rate is elevated for more of the time. So depending on the stimulus that you want, then you can get through 5 rounds because it's not as heavy. You don't need as much rest. You're just going and your heart rate's up the whole time. If your goal is predominantly strength, I would encourage you to really add whatever weight you can to the compound movements. And then that's going to mean that you need a little bit more rest between your rounds, right? So you might do all 4 movements and then be like, okay, let me like catch my breath for a minute so that I have the energy to be able to do this weight again, right? So then it might take you a little bit longer. You might only get through 3 or 4 sets. That doesn't mean that one person did better than the other. You just have different goals. And so you're approaching the workout differently for a different stimulus.
For sure. And then there you have it, guys. Your perfect 3-day split. Tomorrow we're gonna be talking about a weekend related topic. You guys, I know that this was a lot, probably sounded like kinesiology class, but literally I'm breaking it down for you in the most effective, simplest way possible. The reality is that once you understand that breakdown, you realize that you can literally come up with hundreds of different exercises. And that is the beauty of it, to never stick to the same thing all the time, because then what happens is that your body adapts. Our bodies love to adapt because for thousands of years, we had to survive and we've been in survival mode. So our bodies are great at adapting. Once you start adapting, you stop seeing results. And that is why if you've ever trained with me one-on-one, or if you've ever been to any of my programs, by the way, if you have, give me a thumbs up, smiley face, or a high five. Then you know that no workout that you ever did with me or that I wrote up for you was ever the same. And that is how you keep on seeing results. Okay?
It's never the same, but the principles are similar.
Right, exactly. And that is how you have more fun and you don't get bored. That's how you keep it effective, by not adapting. And that's how you keep it safe. Okay? Stay away from movement that cause you pain. Soreness is great. That's a part of the process. You can't not be sore and try to get better. That's just a matter of fact. Just like you can't be successful and not be stressed out. That's a matter of fact. So there you have it, guys. Your perfect 3-day split. If you found today's video useful, if you liked it, then please, you already know what to do. I will keep on asking every single time because I'm on a mission and Erin's on a mission. We're on a mission to transform the lives of millions of others through the same movement, nutrition, and lifestyle habits that have transformed ours. We know that the things that we talk about here, literally nobody else talks about, especially not at 6 a.m., especially not 5 times a week.
Press the share button. Literally, before you shut off your computer and go to the next thing that you have today, click the share button, say whatever you want to say about us, however you've learned, however you've benefited. Please click the share button and spread this to your group of people, your community, your friends, your loved ones, and help them to hear and grow and be a part of a community that is supportive and awesome.
Yep, aside from the fact that whoever shares the most videos per week gets a free coaching call by the end of the week. So the week before last, we had Jeanette. She had a call last Friday. We've done some amazing things. On Monday, I'll be speaking with Teresa. Who knows? Maybe you'll be the next one.
But you gotta share.
Thank you guys for showing up. Thank you, Crystal. We will see you tomorrow at 6 a.m. In the meantime, have an amazing, badass day. Today we talked about training. Tomorrow we're going to talk about
Mike Berner.
Dude, Coach B, I love you, but this is it. You'd have loved this video. I hope you listen back to it. Have an amazing day, you guys. We will see you tomorrow, 6 a.m.